10 before the hour. It is church night. Part of the program tonight sponsored by Chris in New York City, whose message is always support the Mike Malloy Show with a podcast subscription or sponsorship. Thank you, Chris. Lee in New York City is the one who let me know that Bill Nye and Ken Ham debated, if that's the word, last night. I think it was last night. There is a video out. It's 2.5 hours long. And Lee said, I only saw the introduction. Lee writes, they started with the meaning of the word science. I worked for a physics teacher who gave me an excellent definition of science. He said that in science, any idea has the risk of being disproven. This is why astronomy is a science and astrology is not. Astronomers know that the Earth wobbles like a spinning top. Astrologers recorded the constellation that the sun was in when they set up their system. The astrological definition of each sign is unchanged. Mike, astrologers list you as born under the sign of Cancer, but the sun was in Gemini when you were born. Astrologers do not correct. I have seen horoscopes include the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, even though they were unknown when astrology identified the zodiac. What do they do with Pluto now? Do dwarf planets count? Astrologers do not ask questions. Neither do creationists. They do not learn. Scientists do. Yeah, well, okay. Astrology is still a lot of fun, though, right? So, this happened in Kentucky. It's not in, what'd you say, Kansas? No, Kathy, it's in Kentucky.
Oh, I thought it was Kansas.
Yeah, anyway, it's this Kentucky museum known for teaching that the planet's age is only 6,000 years old, it says here. But Nye walked up to the podium, threw up his hands, and noted that science shows that the Earth is billions and billions of years old. And, of course, why he would lower himself, seriously, why any scientific researcher, scientist, would lower himself or herself to get into a so-called debate with somebody who believes in ghosts and spooks and haunts and creatures living in the clouds and angels and I mean, what the hell is the point of that? I guess Bill Nye just did it for the hell of it. The event was meant to explore the question, how do we get here, from the perspective of science and superstition. Now, this guy Ken Ham, is an Australian native who has built this ministry in Kentucky. And he said he trusts the story of creation presented by the Bible. Ham said, the Bible is the Word of God. I admit that's where I start from. Nye, and again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I think this is absolutely ludicrous for someone of Nye's intellect to lower himself into the monkey cage with these freaks. I mean, this makes no sense. But he said, quote, if we accept Mr. Ham's point of view that the Bible serves as a science text, and he and his followers will interpret that for you, I want you to consider what that means. It means that Mr. Ham's word is to be more respected than what you can observe in nature, what you can find in your backyard in Kentucky. End quote. The event, of course, drew dozens of national media outlets, and about 800 tickets were sold out in minutes. Ham said ahead of the debates that the Creation Museum was having a peak day on its social media sites. Ham said before the debate, quote, I think it shows you that the majority of people out there, they're interested in this topic. They want to know about this. They don't want debate shut down. I'm so tired of hearing that there is some basis for the use of the word debate when you talk, or when there is suggested, always by these creationist freaks, that there should be some kind of interaction between people whose entire worldview is based on superstitious nonsense and people whose entire worldview is based on science. I mean, what is the point? People like Ham were burning hundreds of thousands, if not millions of women at the stake 500, 600, 700, 800 years ago because these women could cure little diseases that were happening then. Yes? Yes, Kathy?
Yeah, well, I just have to chime in because this is one of my favorite topics. And I just want to know, do they think that either one or two things? God is just some great big trickster, and he just deliberately built into his creation um, story deception about the age of the universe, or is Einstein wrong, and Stephen Hawking's wrong, and the Hubble Space Telescope is wrong? I mean, we've measured galaxies that had to have existed
Billions of years ago,
20
right?
billion years
Right.
ago, I think, is the oldest one they found, based on, we know
The
how
speed of
fast
light.
we know how fast light travels.
Right.
We know how far the Milky Way is from other galaxies. So these new Earth people, 6,000 years old,
Get
Jesus
close.
on the dinosaur folk, what?
Yeah.
Do they think God was just going, I'm just going to, into my creation story, I'm going to put in some little trick about how time is and the speed of light. It's just a joke. It's all messed up. It's not empirical. Because I mean, that's empirical. That is empirical. You can measure. You
Yeah.
can measure. When these freaks tell you that you can't prove evolution. Well, hell, you can't prove creation.
Well, no, wait,
but-
stop right there, because you can prove evolution anytime you want to. Just take a look at a virus. Take a look at, evolution, as you told me, is mutation.
Well-
All you have to do is take a look at some of the base organisms. They mutate constantly. Take a look at the flu virus.
Yeah.
Take a look at any virus.
I like Naya's point that there are trees on this planet that are older
Than God.
than the creationists claim the Earth is.
Right.
So where'd they come from?
We'll be right back. Stay with us. It's church night if you haven't guessed. I'm Mike Malloy.